every part of our business has some conflicts. I mean, it's such a small industry with relatively so few people doing it. There's conflicts across the board, whether it's the record company, the lawyers, the business managers. I mean, there's always that potential, agent, I'm going to sell out my one client's interest for my other client's interest. So that's inherent just in the industry. It's a little different, though, when you're saying, I'm going to set up a record label and I'm going to manage the artist on the label. That's a direct conflict that's, how can you possibly, be fighting both sides equally? One side's going to, although arguably you could say, well, it's going to come out even. And one could make an argument that the artist, if he had less of a leveraged position at the start of his career and the label typically has more, if there's a conflict, it's probably going to end up with the artist maybe getting a little better deal, because my experience in these conflict situations, the person in the conflict, unless he's just a bad guy, which is not to say that doesn't happen occasionally, but they try to balance the conflict. They try to say, oh my gosh, I am in this conflict. I better make sure this is really a fair deal so no one can really complain. Well, so what happens is the side with the bigger, greater size, greater strength in that negotiation versus the artist who probably has very little, probably is going to come out a little better, the artist versus the label. So one could say, well, it's not such a bad deal. They also take a position that, you have your manager, you have your artist, lawyer, you have your artist, business manager. Those people can also add independent advice to the artist and help, eliminate the conflict.